Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and as always I've got my sidekick Austin, and we are finishing our countdown of our 50 least favorite superhero movies of all time. It's been, once again, another lengthy discussion about lots of movies, but it's been a lot of fun. We've really taken our time with this, like we did with the 100. I'm good with the 100 top favorite movies. Austin, I'm glad that we didn't do 100 for this.
Oh, God, yeah.
I want to think if we had, we would have made ourselves go faster. Like, I felt like part of the reason that we took as long on these streams, that we let them go 2-3 hours, is just because we were doing fewer movies, and so we felt like we could kind of take our time more. But it's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying the memory lane of movies that we really dislike, and that some of us actually like, but then the other person thinks is bad enough to go on a top 50 or on a bottom 50, and that guy is wrong.
At least we always hit 100 every part, or 10 every part. 100 every part. 10 every part.
Yeah.
Since some of the top 100 we only hit 5.
Some of those were kind of embarrassing, yeah. We had a couple of people complaining that we have taken as long on this as we have, and I'm like, yeah, but like you said, but at least we always did 10 at a time. At least this is only 5 streams.
Yeah, exactly. We got there.
We are going to come back and do another one of these lists at some point. We really enjoy this. We will usually take, a few weeks, month off, and then come back and do another one. But we're talking about a few different ideas right now, so we're not going to announce anything tonight. But all I'll say is it might be superhero related, it might not be. We're talking about some different things. But we'll announce something probably when we do the community bottom 50 countdown. And a quick plug for that, don't forget to put your list in if you haven't done that yet. Austin, how many are we up to so far?
About 15, so not too many, so we definitely need some more.
Yeah, I'd like to, I said this last time, I'd like to see that as close to doubled or more than doubled as possible. So I'll start posting around and try to get people to do that. I'm going to get irritating about it because we want to make sure we've got a good solid list. But that'll be fun to count down again like we have before. Do you think, Austin, because I feel like I'm almost groveling at this point, but we haven't usually had issues getting people to participate with these. Do you think people just don't want to be negative? I think that's what it is? Or do you think this is just, like you suggested last time, just a harder exercise?
I think it's a harder exercise. I'm also sure there's just a lot of people that are like, I don't have to do it right now. I'll do it later. I'll do it when I actually have to.
Oh, yeah, probably so. Well, we'll throw a deadline on it and see if we can get some more people in. Because I've only posted on the community tab about it once, I think. But the link is in the description if you're listening to this right now, either live or after the fact. And welcome, thanks for being here. We'll interact with you in the comments if you're watching live. But whether you're live or watching later, you can click on the description or on the link in the description, and you can put in as many up to 50 bad superhero movies, or to you, bad superhero movies, as you can think of. It does not have to be a full 50. I know that can be a daunting task for folks that aren't me and haven't, for some reason, spent 18 years doing this as your job.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's going to be a crazy list, just with what we have so far. It's going to be a lot of shockers, I think.
Adam March says, Cap not announcing things. A surprise to be sure. I could get impulsive and just announce it, because I just, this is on me. I just haven't decided which one it's going to be yet. Austin and I have talked about 3 different things. So I could get impulsive and just say, it's this one. But I think I'm gonna wait. Danaverse,
Yeah.
I didn't realize the Superhero Rewind movie was on Letterboxd. Yeah, somebody threw it up there, which is super cool. I don't know who did that, but
Yeah, I can't remember because I think they said like, "Hey, we're gonna do this," but I don't remember.
oh, cool. But
It's been too long.
it wasn't anybody like in the Discord we talked to, or
Maybe.
it wasn't
I don't
you.
know.
You didn't do it.
It wasn't me. No, I don't know. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, I know you can just put a movie in.
Yeah.
Now, there's some really obscure stuff there. Like, it doesn't surprise me, I guess, that you can put in, like, little underground independent things that have no backing of any kind.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that's fair.
But it makes you wonder, like, what counts as a movie?
Yeah, well, then there's stuff like that that get taken off. Like I know the like Channel Awesome movies have been on there a couple times and they get taken off. So like I don't know if it'll always be on Letterboxd.
Mine will
but,
probably get dropped off then if those don't count.
but maybe it'll be small enough to even squeak by deletion. Who
True,
knows?
true. That's the hope. That's the sweet spot. See, that's what's nice about not being even 100,000 subscriber channel.
Exactly.
Tyler, coming up with 50 is hard. I feel like a lot of them would be stuff I've seen once or ever. Yeah, but that's okay, because if you saw it the one time and it pissed you off, you might as well list it. For example, I put the Killing Joke movie there, but I've never actually watched the whole thing. Well, yes, I would say, I mean, you do you. For me, like, let's say I'm doing this list or I'm reviewing or something, it would feel disingenuous to include a thing I hadn't watched cover to cover. Like, I wouldn't do that. But if I've only seen it once,
Yeah, sure.
and in our top 10 tonight, I have at least one that I have only seen one time. Like, I'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff I've only seen once.
Oh, Midwestern Panels is there, says Adam March.
Oh,
and that
there you
has
go.
stayed up. And Adam March says, I have 2 actor credits on Letterboxd. Well, that makes me wonder if I have an IMDb I don't know about. Because if they count on Letterboxd, I don't know why they wouldn't count on IMDb.
Maybe, who knows?
I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. I didn't do
Yeah, I
it,
don't
though.
know.
I am not conceited enough to put my own movie on movie websites. I have not. I'm not. I'm
You're
not
just
that
saving up your money to get
self-absorbed.
a Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
You're not supposed to tell anybody about that. Shh. I don't want. I don't want the super chatters to know that's where their super chat money is going.
Exactly, that's where it's all going.
Okay, let's get into our top 10 least favorite superhero movies of all time. And Austin is going to kick us off with his number 10. I'm so excited, and feel free to guess.
Well, you've
in the
been going
comments.
first on these.
Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we flipped on. Oh no, wait a minute. No, I'm being dumb.
That's why
Normally
I
you go
thought we
first.
flipped and had you going first. That's what we did last time, anyway.
No, it's because we flipped, and then it was in my mind that we flipped, so then I flipped it from where we were. I did like a whole Princess Bride thing.
You have
Flipping
gone
around the poison.
360 degrees here. You know, and then watch us go back and look at the first stream, and I went first.
Yeah, no,
I bet-
I'm like
bet that's
Mac
what
from
happened.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I don't know who I'm a double agent for at this point, but
It makes
I'm
no
flipping
difference.
around.
There'll be variety within the series if that happened. We can't remember.
Yeah.
We start these things so late, we're already incomprehensible by the time the stream goes live.
exactly.
Let me read, if you don't mind, at the risk of
Yeah.
delaying the inevitable. Teddy just put in a $10 super chat and is calling himself Teddy again.
Yes.
But he mentioned the Jewish girl at the start, which was amusing. He said, I hear you met a nice Jewish girl last time. And now he says, I'm putting Raimi Spider-Man 2 as my number 1 just to piss everyone off.
And then Brandon Atkinson said he did that with Black Panther. So
Oh,
are people just
no.
trolling this list? We just have to delete all of them and then start over?
Is this going to be the one that we finally decide just not to do a community list for, where it's like, this is inaccurate, people are just screwing with us, what is the point of even reading it?
Yeah.
If that happens, like, if enough people really dislike the thing, obviously it's fine if it makes the list, but like, if a lot of that happened, it would be kind of pointless. It would be kind of not worth doing.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, don't say it. Because then now I know.
Well, that too. Do you think that's what happened with Because we had enough people submitting, I kind of doubt it. But do you think that's what happened with Amazing Spider-Man 2 with the top
No.
50? Or do you think enough of
No.
our audience genuinely likes that movie and we're all questioning their sanity?
No, I've heard people say it's their favorite Spider-Man movie, so that doesn't surprise me. It's crazy.
You've heard
But-
people in our audience say that?
I mean, just in general. But
These are the two more shocking things that we've learned about our audience. A, they like Amazing Spider-Man 2, and B, their favorite superhero is the Hulk. That's so surprising.
that's true.
Not that it's weird that people like the Hulk, just that it made wasn't it our number one top superhero?
No, it was number
Didn't
two. It was almost
two?
number one. It was very close, but
Batman did
Spider-Man
beat it
ended
out.
up
Oh,
winning.
Spider-Man beat it out even over Batman. Okay,
Well, because we didn't mix them. It was Marvel and DC.
that's what it was. I'm sorry, I'm not thinking about this right. Yeah. We did a Marvel list and a DC list. Do you think it's a toss-up if we had done a blend of whether Spider-Man or Batman wins the top, or do you think it's most certainly Batman?
Oh, I have no idea.
I wonder about that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they got similar enough, like people that submitted. You could maybe just go back and see how many points they each got.
Oh yeah, sure. That would give you kind of an idea.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna actually
Yeah,
get into the
exactly.
list now. Teddy, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. Austin, what is your? And you really are gonna start. I'm gonna make you do it. What is your number 10 of your top 10? And folks in the comments, feel free to guess as we go at what might be left in our respective top 10s. I can't wait. Go ahead.
Yeah, my number 10 is a movie we've done on Rewind before, and one that's come up before. It is Superman Returns.
Boy, we've done some of our absolute least favorite movies in the last year, haven't we?
We've done a lot. We've done a lot of really bad movies.
Superman Returns. Where did that land on my list? Because, yeah, I've said it already. It is oddly low as I'm looking at this. 39 is where I had it.
39.
It probably is
See,
worse
I
than
feel
that.
I think if not for Rewind, this is another Rewind probably brought it down a little bit for me, but
We've
or
talked-
up.
We've had that a ton.
But like, if I hadn't gone back to it, probably would be around that point. But going back to it, oh man, that was such a slog. Because I also used to be, I dislike Man of Steel more than I dislike Superman Returns. Not the case anymore. Superman Returns is way worse.
And you watched them both in close proximity.
Yes, exactly. And I can say I like neither, but Superman Returns is worse.
What's like the one or two things that irritate you the most about it? Like yes, it's boring,
I mean,
but just specific elements.
Specific elements, I mean, like the main cast, I would say, especially with, Superman and Lois, I think I just miscast. And then just being a Donner homage, like, those are two of the biggest things that sink it.
And of course, everybody makes fun of the Kryptonite Island. Like, is that
because all
one of the
Superman
big
does is
things?
this.
That's all. Yeah, because you kept saying that.
No, he does this.
That's all he does. I talked about this when I brought it up, but just for me, the big thing is Stalker Superman, and it's supposed to be later in his career, but he looks 15 years younger than the last time we saw him. And C, it cannot decide what continuity it's in. It's one of the worst examples of soft reboot I've ever seen. Like, you can be somewhat ambiguous about that kind of thing. That movie does not know how to do it.
Yeah, 100%. And then I also think it just has like a very lame ending. Like, after the start of the climax where we have Lex kicking Superman around and stabbing him and whatnot, you would think you would get some sort of comeuppance where Superman then comes in and gets
true.
Lex.
Good point.
And there's none of that. Like, it's just bye.
And that's
Superman's
relatively
gonna go do this.
one of the better scenes in the movie. But I guess Lex just gets his comeuppance by being stuck on an island. at the end,
Superman should have
standing there.
Out.
I think we said that in the commentary, where he should have shown up out of nowhere and just punched him into the water and flown off. He should have dropped
punched him in the back of the head.
He should have
flown away.
Once he knows that kid is his son, he should have dropped the piano on Lex.
There you go.
Okay, great. It says Superman Returns is an ugly-looking movie. That was a thing that we emphasized pretty hard. That jumped out to both of us harder than it had before. I think, or at least it did to me.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I talked about like
just how bad the effects
are. Having gone back to both of them now, like I do feel like Man of Steel and the new Superman are both in their own ways responding to Superman Returns.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Everything wrong with it.
And Man of Steel was kind of overcorrecting in certain ways. And then Superman was going, or James Gunn's movie was going, okay, Superman Returns wanted to be more comic book, but was too afraid or was just too obsessed with the Donner movie to not continue to write its coattails. And so that movie keeps a little bit of the theme, and there's, some little homages here and there, but it finally is looking at comic books in a way that we've never been allowed to do.
And Superman shoulder checks Lex into a desk after everything he's done to him.
That's true. Yeah, and he's done a lot more to that Superman. Because 1A, and even his dog.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Ugh. Greg Goat says Superman Returns is maybe the single most overhated superhero movie ever. Yeah, but every time I watch it, I have a hard time getting through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's fair if you like it. It's just,
Sure.
I do not.
But like, I ain't hating it for the sake of hating it. Like, I'll get indifferent towards it, and then I'll finally look at it again and go, oh no, this is really bad. And
I mean, that's what I had.
Do you think it shades at all of the unfortunate nonsense that Singer would make later with, like Apocalypse and stuff like that? Like, are there any hints of, like, when Singer loses his mind later? That's a question.
I'm gonna say no, because he's doing, like, they're just kind of different things. Like Apocalypse and whatnot, I think, is just him trying to do like the MCU, and it just comes out as slop.
Okay.
Superman Returns, is him trying to do like a 70s movie and going, well, it's got to be boring. And it's like, well, no.
That's great. Okay, Austin, my number 10 is Kick-Ass 2.
Oh, okay. Way higher than I would have expected.
Did you have it on your list? I can't remember.
No, I don't hate Kick-Ass 2. Like, it's not good, but like, if we did 100, it would have made my list, but not at 50.
Yeah, that is one of those movies that I detest a lot more after having written about it. It's just one of those things that rubbed me so hard the wrong way the more I thought about it. And that's one of those movies that I wish didn't exist, because I don't want to say that it ruins the first one. Like, I can still go back and enjoy the first one, but that should have been a cool franchise, and because it wasn't, you kind of wish it was just the one, and that you didn't have to, think about the fact that they made a really bad sequel after that. It's got, the cool Jim Carrey character. I mean, it's not that there's nothing in it, but the stuff that bugs me is so offensively bad to me, it pops it way up in my mind. The way,
I mean, that's fair.
The way Hit Girl is handled in that, because I fell in love with that character so hard with that first movie, is unforgivable. The horrible CW kind of high school drama that's done with that. The
Carrie stuff,
yeah, that, and then the vomit scene I'll never forgive them for. The whole thing is just really lame and kind of falls apart by the end. If memory serves, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Well, yeah, I would say like that's part of why it doesn't make my list. Is I'm like you said, I do think there's like a couple things in that movie I think are fine, and then a lot of the stuff that's bad is just kind of lame. So I'm like, that's dumb.
That's how I felt about it until I lived with it. Like, that's what I had in the theater, then I sat down and gave it its due, and then like I don't know, that's one of those that's just stuck in my craw.
Mm-hmm. No, and there's just I don't know, like it's also just a watered down version of that book mixed with the Hit Girl book. It's lame.
Again, these are personal lists. That is gonna be weirdly high for some people, but
Yeah.
I to some degree can't help but go off of experiences that I've had working with the things when I've done them on Rewind, either written or off the cuff analysis.
Daniverse, like I said, that's fair.
Daniverse, I feel like Kick-Ass 2 was so hated that it retroactively made people forget the first.
Kind of.
It's
disappeared.
Yeah, it's almost like that because I wonder if the first movie wouldn't have been somewhat forgotten, even if the second movie was never made, where that was such a time and place kind of movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
It kind of hits okay at the start and then becomes more
for a while.
More of a cult thing later. Yeah, but just because there's talk of rebooting a thing doesn't mean that anybody's talking about it.
No, I know. I just mean like in the sense of like I also feel like it's just kind of in development hell on doing anything else with it. Like even if there was anywhere to like ride the coattails left, I don't know.
Senior Sticks, $2 super chat. If they make a 20-year sequel, you won't review it. I mean, I go to everything superhero for the most part. I've missed almost nothing. Since I started, so like we did that Super Pets movie. Like, yeah, if they came back and made a Kick-Ass 3 now, like that'd be weird. I'd go.
Unless it's straight to DVD from Catch Up, then we won't review it.
Maybe, but I mean, we've looked at some weird stuff like that too. Well, Hellboy I missed. That's fair, just because I couldn't get to it in the theater and I keep forgetting it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. That was what I was joking about, yeah. But I don't even think that went to the theater. I think it was just straight to DVD.
I thought it had like a tiny window. Maybe it didn't. It was supposed to.
It was like, I think it was like in the UK.
That's what it was. They showed it overseas somewhere, but not here. That's what it was. Yeah,
exactly.
I have seen that on disc occasionally and just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. But when I finally do, we'll have to maybe like front load a Rewind on that, just because we didn't review it when it came out, and that's one of the only movies in 18 years I've not done when it came out. Or I can't say 18 years.
Yeah, well, and it's technically eligible now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like a couple of years in, I started doing these. I started doing the Sign Flip reviews. I guess I didn't do it right out the gate, to be fair. But once I did, I've done them all.
Yeah.
No, okay, great. I know they're never gonna make that. I'm just saying it sounded like he was being kind of hypothetical. But no, there's been talk, like he said, there's been talk about a remake. They were supposed to replace
I think Netflix was supposed to do it or something.
I think it was supposed to be like a gender flipped thing.
Maybe. I mean, that's what the comics did.
Oh, that's right.
So maybe. Yeah, I think there's like 4 of those books now too. Like, there's been a couple, but I think Millar only did the first one.
What is your 9?
My number 9 is another high-flying space hero. It's Captain Marvel.
Yeah, we talked last time. We knew that was gonna come up here because I blanked and couldn't think of it. It's like, what are his other 2 Marvel movies? Of course, Captain Marvel. So why is it so high, Austin?
I just think it's incredibly dull, and my thing with it has always been, I feel like it just kind of sputters out by the end. Like, I don't even think it really has like a complete story with a character. It just kind of goes, I don't know, we hit the 2-hour mark, we should probably stop.
I kind of feel like their standards have dropped some since even that. We're like, they've that's why it would be hard to put it that high for me, is that at the time it was like, wow, it's a Marvel movie with no character arc, and now it's like, I'm not actually that surprised if that happens. Like, that is possible now in a way it wasn't back then.
But most of them aren't as dull. as Captain Marvel, while also adapting stuff I like, because they're also adapting from the Abnett Lanning Guardians with the Skrulls.
Yeah.
So you also have stuff like that where it's like, oh, really? That's how you did that? Okay.
I didn't love it when it came out. I was pretty indifferent toward it overall. I've been afraid to go back to it because I kind of think I'll probably be closer to the hate side at this point. But I don't know.
Yeah,
because I haven't seen it in a long time.
yeah. Yeah, I just find it super boring. Like it's got that Superman Returns thing, where I'm like, this movie doesn't have anything to latch on to in terms of just keeping me engaged and not wanting to look at my phone the entire time.
See, I'm trying to decide.
Even Sam Jackson, it's like that and the prequels are the only place that makes Sam Jackson boring.
Yeah, and I didn't have that with him. You and I have always been on opposite ends with that, but again, I've not gone back to it. I do wonder if Secret Invasion, for me, would bump that up or drop it even lower. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because I barely remember Secret Invasion. Like, I remember we watched it, and I remember, like, 4 scenes, but outside of that, I don't know. But Secret Invasion probably is worse than Captain Marvel. I can give it that. Oh, and thank you, Adam March.
No.
I forgot to mention that.
Easily it is.
It completely ruins Marvel.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, I already thought it was lame with Captain Marvel that they weren't doing any cool villainous stuff with the Skrulls. And I was thinking, like, okay, maybe eventually they'll do some of that, and it'll be weird to introduce them this way, where they're trying to make you sympathize with them at first, and then here's the bad ones. But, like, maybe you can do that. You know, maybe you can have your race where, like, some of them are good and some of them are bad. We just got off on kind of a weird foot with it, and then we never did that. And so that's why I'm saying I wonder if retroactively Secret Invasion being as extremely boring and even lamer with the Skrulls as it is, if that makes that movie look better or worse. To me anyway, because I'm with you. I don't remember a ton about that movie, about that show, except how it made me feel.
Yes, yeah, we had a miserable time doing it. But I do have a question for you, Cap.
Yeah.
Can you name the villain of Captain Marvel?
I don't think I can. And it's funny because we had this conversation with Marvels, and you blew my.
I can't name her.
And you blew my mind with that. Wasn't it Marvels that had the. Yeah, that had the kind of
female Ronin.
Female Ronin, yeah, the lady ripoff of Ronin, and I couldn't even remember at all who the villain was. I can picture the villain of Captain Marvel. I just don't remember what his name is.
He's Jude Law.
Right.
I actually do know his name. His name is Yanrog.
What do you know?
I don't know why. I don't know why I remember that, but. I think I remember that specifically because I remember following that movie at the time and thinking, because we didn't know who he was going to be at first, and there was a lot of discussion about if Jude Law was going to end up playing Marvel, and I just remember at the time being like, no, he's obviously going to be the bad guy. Like, that screams villain casting to me. And then just because of that, I think it, like, lodged his character name into my brain, where it's like I have to have this stored so I can use it for moments like this.
It's funny because you have it way higher than I do, and the stuff that ticks me off about that movie is not the stuff that ticks you off as much. But the prequelitis stuff annoys me enough. It probably should be higher on my list than it is.
No, that stuff's bad. Like, that's not me being like, oh, whatever.
Oh, I know. I know. But it's not your main reason for having it high.
No, my main reason is that I can barely sit through that movie. If I could get through that movie and enjoy other parts of it, then that stuff would be some of the worst stuff in it.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
But that was a moment where I started feeling... Where I started feeling like the MCU was losing some credibility. And
yeah,
I
definitely.
hated that feeling right before the giant, like, tribute event movies, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, like, right in between them, too.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, because that only made $1 billion because you had to see it before Endgame. It was very important
And you
that
could see both at the same time.
Yes, yeah. Well, and remember Black Panther had that with Infinity War.
Yeah, and then I think, if I remember correctly, I think Captain Marvel and Endgame had an even shorter window between them. So, like, I think they also played together longer as well.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that.
Whereas Black Panther just held in there by having really good legs.
Yep. Yeah, they didn't expect it would still be in any theaters when Infinity War came out. That wasn't planned. And it was only probably a couple of weeks, if that.
Yeah, I don't think it lasted long.
But yeah, it was very important that you understood the full backstory of that Deus Ex Machina. You really needed to know that.
And even then, you're not going to understand who that character is.
No.
Neither of those films.
The actress doesn't know. We don't know.
Marvel doesn't know. Kevin Feige doesn't know.
I pulled a page out of your book for my number 9, Austin, and I put 2 movies in the same franchise next to each other because I couldn't decide which one I disliked more. And I will say, one kind of, in my mind, is bad for somewhat different reasons, or at least ticks me off for somewhat different reasons, but they're both equally horrible. Do you have a guess?
Not exactly, but I do have one coming up that is the same, where they don't have exactly the same issues, but I'll explain why when we get there.
But you got to put them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't do this, I think because you haven't seen the other movie. But
is it Joker and Joker 2?
It's not. It's Let There Be Carnage and The Last Dance.
Oh, okay.
It's the last 2 Venom movies. Which is funny because I didn't include the first one on this list. I don't dislike that enough for it to go in a bottom 50. Like, there are things I can enjoy in that movie. Like, it's uneven and it's not good, and it's not what I would have wanted. But these movies are on another level of bad in my mind anyway. And The Last Dance was really hard to get through, and was another of those movies that I had a hard time not falling asleep while I was watching. And just doesn't even hold together as a movie. It's one of the most obligatory things I've ever seen, where, like, it's really embarrassing.
Which is weird as, like, a ending.
Yeah. Well, and then they, of course, tack on what's supposed to be, like, a real tragic, heartfelt kind of ending, which makes it so much worse. But, like, it's not funny, and it's really embarrassing, and it's hard to look at, and it looks terrible, and the effects are really rough. And then we talked about Let There Be Carnage already, where it has a lot of the things I just said also, but they don't understand Carnage any more than they understand Venom, and it's really sad what they did with him. And I just don't want to think about those movies.
It makes me
like, I can't believe that's a trilogy. That's so weird that even exists.
It's so sad
apart from Spider-Man.
When you look at the concept art and you see Pope Carnage, because if that movie at least had Pope Carnage,
yeah,
that would be something. That's cool. You couldn't even get that.
They did that a lot with the advertising with those movies, where they would have a cool looking kind of, comic booky image, and then it's almost like the crappy B movie made in a basement thing, where it's like, we can't begin to live up to what's on this box, or like Atari games, it's like we can't live up to that art. And then you go, wait a minute, but these are like over $100 million movies. Why are they made so much like B movies?
Because it's Sony.
Well, the joke's on us because they performed. At least the first 2. I don't know how that last one did.
Yeah, I think they did, like, lower and lower with each movie.
Yeah, but I think...
I think the first one made, like, 800, 2 made 700, and then I'm not even sure about 3.
I thought the first movie was even closer to $1 billion than that.
I don't think so. I think it was about 800 million.
Okay. They all more than made their money
good.
back, though. Like, that third one still must have been successful.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like it did way less, but I mean, it probably did better than the other ones, like Craven and Morbius.
Yeah. Yeah, it had a budget of 110 to 120, and its box office was nearly 500.
Okay, so it still dropped quite a bit, though.
Yeah, but it still is financially successful.
No, of course, but like that's probably why they're not talking about making more. It was slowly going less and less.
Yeah, they got to be
The writing
thinking,
was on the wall
okay,
there.
the next one could be the one that actually tanks.
Mm-hmm.
No, Adam
Yeah,
March, I was
exactly.
not moved. Stussy,
Not even a little.
The Last Dance sadly made more than Thunderbolts. Yeah, that hurts my feelings.
That makes sense.
It does. It just hurts
Like
my
just
feelings.
like just in terms of like a brand thing of just people know what Venom is.
Yeah.
If Venom had an asterisk though, $1 billion.
I don't actually think the asterisk thing helped or hurt Thunderbolts. I don't think that made any difference to that movie whatsoever.
No, no.
I mean,
But Sony could have done the same thing. Like, you know how with Thunderbolts, it's like Thunderbolts asterisk, and then you get to the end, and it's like New Avengers. Venom could do the same thing, where it's like Venom 3 asterisk. Gotcha, bitch. We got your money.
RJ Godzilla, come on, Cat Venom 2 is not that bad. I can't speak to 3's quality. I've never seen it. But compared to some of the other things on your list, this is just strange. I mean, that's just not how I feel about it. We can agree to disagree. And again, I saw it the one time. It just was a horrible experience for me. Like, I wanted to get up and leave.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't know if I would have had that as much if I didn't have the investment that I do with that character. But like, I really like Carnage. I remember really hating what they did with Shriek, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, like, is that last movie technically worse than 2? Yeah, probably. But you're comparing moldy oranges. Like, it's already a thing that I think belongs in a dumpster, and there's a little bit of comedy merit and even more story merit in that first movie to me, than what I remember from Let There Be Carnage. Now, if I saw it a second time, now that I know what I'm getting myself into more, would I have an improved experience? It's possible.
Mm-hmm. We should just dump the Venom trilogy straight in the garbage. And
but
never
I'm just
speak of it again.
But I'm just basing this on what I remember from the experience I had, which is how I always talk about these things, right? Like, we have these experiences all the time on the commentary project where I'll be real surprised how different I feel about a thing either direction, where it's like, I've grown, I've learned things, I'm coming at it through a new lens. As I always say, I'm not the same person day to day, so I could go to that, and I think if I'm more positive on it, it doesn't make me angry anymore. Like, that's the most I could expect from seeing that again. But I don't wanna, though. Someday we'll have to.
Yeah. No, they should have been Zaslaved. All 3 of those films I would be perfectly accepting being written off for tax purposes.
Do you wish Warner Brothers bought Sony just so that could have happened?
Yeah, I wish they would just write Sony off. Just buy Sony and then write them off as a tax write-off.
Write the whole company off as a tax write-off.
Yeah, just the entire company. Just boom, there you go.
You've
no more
been,
Sony.
Sony, you've been Zaslaved. Well, see,
there's that thing with the Netflix deal where it's like if it doesn't go through, Netflix has to give them however much money.
Yeah.
Anyways, they should just take that money, buy Sony, write them off for taxes. Sony doesn't exist. Cinema is saved.
Well, you know what'll happen? They'll be moved to the trash.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Man, just so many headaches would be solved if that could happen to both Sony and Paramount right now. That's how I feel about it. All right, Austin, give us
my number
your
8.
Number 8.
My number 8 is a movie you asked me last time if I even remembered. It is Jumper.
Yeah! I figured if you remembered it, it would have to be pretty high. Based on the experience we had, and again, because we both had it really, really low in our ranking on the commentary project.
Yeah, real low. God. And that's a movie I avoided too, because I feel like just at the time, like after the prequels and stuff, I was like, oh, Hayden Christensen's not a great actor. I'm gonna avoid this. God, did I dodge a nuke as a child?
Seriously.
Hmm. I mean, like you said, we do things like it's one of the. We got to film in the Coliseum. It doesn't matter, and it's just who cares?
So much. Who cares?
Exactly. But we've talked a ton about Jumpers, so we don't have to get into it again.
Well, and it was a premise that they had potential.
Yeah. No, like teleporting heroes are cool.
Yeah. They should make a Nightcrawler movie called Bamf.
Oh, they did make a Nightcrawler movie.
Oh, that's true. It was called Nightcrawler.
Jake Gyllenhaal,
and it had nothing to do with Nightcrawler. That's a great movie.
I still have to see it. I just like pulling that as a joke.
I remember liking it. It's Jake Gyllenhaal as the Incredible Nightcrawler.
Exactly. No, that's a movie I really want to see. Like everyone says, it's great. I just never got around to it.
So you're confused, Austin. That movie's not about Nightcrawler. It's about a Nightcrawler. You know.
There's only one. That's not a legacy character. Did they make him a legacy character?
No,
in the movie?
that's a word though. There could be different Nightcrawlers that aren't related to that. You look confused.
I don't believe you.
Oh.
Next, you're gonna tell me rogue is a word and not a person.
Yeah. It's like a Minecraft movie, you know? Like it's not gonna be the Minecraft movie. They'll make another one that's like the definitive one, even though that movie somehow made $1 bazillion.
I maybe told the story, but I remember as a kid, at least not in this series. When I was a kid, my mom really wanted to watch Swordfish, and I was like, no, I don't want to watch it. It doesn't have cool X-Men in it. And my mom was like, oh no, this is the story of how Wolverine, like before Wolverine got his claws, he was here. So in my world, there is a cool shared universe where X-Men starts with Swordfish, then you get like the X-Men movies, and then also Nightcrawler is a spin-off. It's a really cool shared universe.
That's great. Yeah, I wonder if there's any other movies that sound like X-Men characters. You know, like I can't think of a movie called Cyclops, but like that could be a thing. You know, or Juggernaut. There's a Voyager episode called Juggernaut. Yeah, like this happens.
Probably a movie called Rogue.
Yeah, sure. Or, you know, Archangel. That sounds like
that movie Legion. That's in the shared universe.
No. Okay. Daniverse says Jumper is such a weird movie and yet nothing happens.
Yeah. That's a good way of describing it.
That's true. Back real quick to finish this up to the Let There Be Carnage thing, or Godzilla says, I guess I just had more realistic expectations given the studio that was making them, and also given who ran the studio at the time, Tom Rothman, the man who messed up X-Men Origins Wolverine. I never really put that together. I mean, that's, I guess, fair to some degree. But, like, my expectations were definitely not high given that first movie. And I figured that they would steer into the worst parts of that like they did. It's just, like I said, I thought that there was some fun to be had with that first movie, and the Let There Be Carnage, it wasn't even fun bad to me. Like, it was kind of a slog, and it felt more mean-spirited in a way. It was just like, it was weirdly cynical all around, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's just the experience I remember having with it.
Yeah. Hot Soup, that's also what I've always wondered. Halle Berry is also in Swordfish, and my mom did not say it's the start of Storm. It's just this is the start of Wolverine.
That's really fun. Like, she didn't put that together?
I guess not. I don't know. I mean, by that point, I don't think 3 was even out yet, so... It's not like she's done anything in those first 2.
My 8 is a little obligatory, and a lot of our viewers going way, way back would expect this to be high. But I don't feel as strongly about this as some other things, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I mean, I gotta put it high. I gotta put it in the top 10 because there's so like nothing in it. And I've always said, so this was the one movie that back in the day got a 0 on Superhero Rewind, and that is Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, because it is neither a movie nor does hardly any Power Rangers stuff happen in it, and it's just a 2-hour pilot with like no actual car stuff, even though it's called Turbo. And like the main disappointment with it, as a Power Rangers fan, isn't even that it doesn't live up to its title, because like for me as a Power Rangers fan, even back in the day, like who really cares that much about a car motif, especially when, I'm gonna go to geeky Power Ranger places for a minute, but especially when you're gonna replace the Zeo powers with this turbo motif for no reason. They didn't lose their powers or anything. They just went, now we're gonna do this other, we're gonna have whole new costumes and Zords and stuff. Why? Because we're making a movie, and because the next season we got to go to another Sentai. So like this, the whole thing was just so freaking awkward. But boy, is it no fun to have to go back and sit through. And like,
don't tell it to John. He watched it like
that's so funny
3 times in the span of a week last year.
I don't understand that, John. But like, even if you like Power Rangers, and even compared to the series, like Turbo is one of the least liked series in that era, and I'd rather watch the show. The movie is so boring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, why are
that is definitely one I'm dreading.
Why are we sitting around on a pirate ship for as long as we are? Like the only thing
I'd probably like that part.
Yeah, it's just boring. And then the only thing it has going for it is Divatox, who's well cast, and she's that actress is a lot of fun, and but it's just nothing.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, it's not Turbo, and it's not Power Rangers, and it's not a movie.
Yeah, and it's also really disappointing after and I'm just putting myself back in the time and place. Like, I saw that in the theater, of course, and after the 95 movie, which most of us fans back then were really happy with, the one thing that a lot of us did complain about with even the 95 movie was they are out of suits for a really long time. And then that makes 2017 really funny. But, like, it's like we make 2 movies where the Rangers aren't allowed to have to be in costume and do hardly any cool action stuff, which is all Power Rangers is really about. And then you get to the 2017 movie, and they do that as the origin, where they just spend the whole movie not able to morph. In Turbo, there's even less of a reason, because it's like the beginning of 95, we lose our powers, and then Turbo, it's just, we don't feel like writing scenes where we have any fighting. Like, they get their powers very early and have Zords and can use them the whole movie, and they just don't do anything. And I like we sound like very like surface 2-dimensional sorts of complaints, but this is Power Rangers we're talking about, which makes it not hard at all, like to make something mildly entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, that's one I'm dreading. That's gonna be. John can take my place for that episode.
And Zed's in one scene and he's sleeping.
That's gonna be me.
Like, what are you exactly? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Austin Harn says Turbo the season picks up after we lose the first Turbo cast. Yeah, it's really interesting because the first half of that season is god awful, and then the writing gets better. I think they changed, if memory serves, the showrunner. Like, I think the writing staff changes along with the cast when they replace the cast.
Oh, weird.
Because I don't know if you know that, Austin, but Turbo has the same cast through the first half as Zeo. And then they finally change everybody, including Tommy. Like, even Tommy leaves. and the only character that stays is the Blue Ranger, the stupid Torpid kid. And then at the end of that season, they changed the entire cast when they go to space, and then that starts the tradition of changing the cast every season with Sentai. So they weirdly do it mid-season, and then they do it every year after that.
Not only did I not know that, I didn't even know that it was before space.
Yeah,
I just assumed it was after.
No, because then space actually kind of stays in space for a minute, because the next series after that is Lost Galaxy, which isn't exactly a space season, but it's on another planet, and so like they kind of anyway. But yeah,
They still just fight in parking lots.
well, that's more of a kind of sword and sorcery sort of season, so it's a lot more forests. They're in the woods a lot.
So you hate that season because it's all about forests.
You know, it's shockingly better
Woods.
than like I like it more than you would expect that I would. And that season's got Magna Defender. Magna Defender is amazing. Magna Defender.
You did say expect.
Magna Defender
You know,
is the Mandalorian 25 years before the Mandalorian.
Oh.
But he's great. Anyway, what is your number 7?
My number 7 is my odd pick that is one that we've never talked about on the channel.
Oh, boy.
And probably would not have made my list. But last year, talking to John, I was like, it would be funny if we watched this. And then we watched it, and I was like, oh, this is way worse than I remember it being.
Can I make a guess?
And you can. I'll also just throw in before you guess.
Yeah.
I also read the comics when I was like...
it's not what I thought.
13, and I was like, surely they'll be better than the movie, and then really did not like them.
Okay,
But
never
go
mind.
ahead, I'll let you guess.
Nope. It can't
what
be.
were you going to guess?
My guess was going to be the Incredible Bulk.
Oh, no, I've actually never seen The Incredible Bulk. I still really need to.
I haven't either.
I actually own it, but I've never watched it.
So Bag sent me a copy of that, and we almost did a blind commentary on it, and the disc you sent me didn't work. So I've still never seen it.
Oh.
And this was like 6 years ago.
Disc in, maybe mine doesn't work. All I know is the shot of him running. I've seen that.
So,
but no,
I wonder what it is. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. My number 7 is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
That's surprisingly high. Like, that's a movie that I'm with you. It's not very good, but it wouldn't have been on my radar for a list like this.
Yeah. No, like I said,
I've also never written
because I
about
went back to it
or done a commentary on it. So, like,
Yeah.
I've only watched that movie casually.
Mhm. No, and that's fair too. That's fair. No, like I said, like I even went to the comics when I was younger and also didn't like them. So like I also have that as well. So I'm like, I think I just don't like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen just as a concept, maybe. But yeah, oh god, that movie is hard to watch. Just well, and I mean, for one thing, that movie is why Sean Connery quit acting.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, Austin Harnett. It is the Amazing Bulk, not the Incredible Bulk.
You know what? I didn't even catch that you said Incredible. Yeah, it is the Amazing Bulk.
I forgot about that. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. God, where do I even go with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? It's just, I don't know, it's just hard to sit through. Like, it's one of those movies that I think, again, just has nothing really going for it, and it's just really dull. And even, like, with people talking over it and, like, trying to get through it, even then it was boring. And it was like, this is just not fun to sit through. Especially considering I was like, oh, this will probably be fun. Like, we can make fun of Sean Connery's accent the whole time. Oh no, this is just gonna be lame.
Yeah, do you think... How much of it do you think is you just didn't care for the source material, and how much of it is they made a lame version of it?
I mean, so I think it's... I don't like the source material, and they made a lame version of it. So it's like, here's something I don't like done way worse.
That's a double whammy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and people are saying that they like the the comics, and I'm definitely sure that that's like a hot take for me to not like them.
Yeah,
but
most people seem to. I have no dog in that. I've never read them, but
yeah, and I mean, it's not like I'm like angry about it. It was just they just kind of weren't for me. Uh,
what is interesting?
Though I do find it funny with Alan Moore that his whole thing is like, you can't adapt my work or whatever, and then he'll also do stuff like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I've always found that like really funny and being kind of hypocritical.
You mean where he's like taking somebody else's thing and adapting it to his own work?
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, what people have with The Boys, I kind of have with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where it's like they just take it and make it kind of one note vulgar, and I just don't really find that entertaining. And then the movie can't even fully go with that because it's also PG-13, but it's not like it replaces it with anything.
Yeah, so it ends up in almost a Spawn place. Like, I remember that movie just being kind of lacking in substance, but I've only seen it one time, and it was a million years ago. And I remember that the dynamic of the cast being kind of awkward.
Yes, it is.
Where
and I feel like they only really develop like 3 of them.
Yeah. Where, like, is there any chemistry with any of those characters?
No, and like most of them aren't really interesting to deal with. Where it's like, I don't know, here's Mina, I don't know, what's her thing? It's just kind of boring.
I wonder if I watch it again and I have this when we eventually do a commentary on it, I can see this being a big crux of a discussion. But I wonder if it watches like kind of a proto Suicide Squad.
Maybe. Kind of. I remember in high school, my drama teacher constantly complained to me that she didn't like the Avengers movie because it was too much like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and I was like, that's a giant improvement. but fair enough.
Well, I'm gonna front load it. I'm gonna make sure that we do that commentary as soon as possible.
Oh God. Let's do it.
See, I'm enjoying all of the vulnerability with these lists because it gives me firepower. You know, it's the stuff that I know that I can pull that would make Austin never want to do a video again.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm looking for an excuse to fire you. I don't really know. I don't really know why that would be useful, but I'll have it. You know.
Exactly. You're like, if he leaves on his own accord, I won't have to give him a severance.
My number 7, I feel a little bit odd about just because I watched this again last week actually, and had had like the best viewing of it that I've had. Not that suddenly I like it or anything, but it was just kind of fun to laugh at with my family, but it still is this bad. My 7 is Ninja Turtles 3.
I really did not expect that to be that high, and for some reason I thought you'd already said it, so it was like, whoa.
No, it's the step down problem, right? It's that, like, that first movie, if that was the only thing they made, and like that was the movie adaptation of Ninja Turtles, it would be a lot funnier to me and a lot easier to like not take the thing seriously and be irritated with it. But some of this just goes back to childhood, because I hated that when it came out, and it was this like really sad continual step down from that like wonderfully like gritty, relatively serious thing that with the first movie that as a kid made you feel like you weren't being talked down to, and then the second one was fun but lost its teeth, and then the third movie lost everything that made that stuff fun. And
it's a New Line sequel. It's just unlike Nightmare, we rushed straight to 6 instead of having a good. I would say like the first 3 Nightmares are pretty good, and then after that, Uh, with TNT, we rushed that.
Like, everything about it is, even compared to 2, uh, so lame and so cheap. Where, like, the script is as cheap as the animatronics, and effects on set is as cheap as, or I should say at least as lame as, like, the villain, and then we bring Casey Jones back, but he's just there for, like, comic relief, sitcom-y stuff. But if you watch it from a slightly different lens, I mean, everything is relative, right? It gets oddly easier and more fun to watch because I'd never had this before, and this is very retroactive because this even predates the thing I'm about to mention by like a year. But it's actually a Power Rangers movie, and it's still bad, but if you look at it through that lens, it's more watchable, oddly, and makes it better than Next Mutation because it at least has some. Because Next Mutation is like the Power Rangers people making a Ninja Turtle show, but they don't have any of the like good choreographers and stuff. So even the action is horrible in that show. Turtles 3 at least has in a couple places some okay choreography and like relative to like it's the same sort of cinematography as like a Power Ranger show. And so now there was like a different sort of nostalgia that crept in when I was watching it, where I was like, okay, this is bad for Ninja Turtles, it's okay for Power Rangers. It still sucks. I don't know. But we started making a list, and I don't have it with me. I'm not going to say any lines, but we started making a list of just like baffling one-liners that were really cracking us up. Because my family and I watched the entire trilogy front to back on New Year's Eve. That was our New Year's Eve party this year because Connor gave us the box set that just came out from Arrow. And it's still hilarious to me that Arrow had to release Ninja Turtles 3 because like nobody likes that movie, but they did the whole trilogy. And people were angry. They were like, why do I have to spend $75 on this box set when I could spend half or less than that on just the one I care about? I kind of understand them. But anyway.
It's also funny to mention that you did that and like shortly after you started, I started my double feature for New Year's Eve, which was the Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
And by the time you finished all 3, Lex had just broken into the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah, those movies are a clean hour and a half each, and so you can watch them in, 4.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But anyways, yeah, Turtles 3 did give us my favorite Splinter. I can give it that, but that's about it.
Yeah, there are a couple of like really oddly like racy or sexual lines in that I did not remember that somehow snuck in. Like when they do,
I think I just swallowed an ancestor.
They do the time travel and they do the stupid like weight displacement thing, and they have this like ninja guy for the past that takes April's place, and Michelangelo says, "How'd you get in April's pants?" It's like, I didn't remember that line. I can't believe that's in there.
At least they didn't have one of the other turtles be like, "Well, I mean, it's not hard," or something like that.
Yeah, they could have followed it
had
up
like a racier follow-up line.
They could have made it way worse, yeah. But something about watching it with my kids, my wife and I were laughing so hard at that.
Or you could have had Casey Jones turn with like an angry face, like, "Ooh, that's my job." But anyways.
So I don't know. I'm questioning how high I've got it now a little bit, but my childhood self appreciates that placement.
Yeah, even I felt weird about it, and I put it like kind of low. I don't know. I feel like for me, I just felt like it was kind of obligatory.
Yeah, but that's a property that I care about a lot more than you do, and that was so disappointing as a kid. Like, I still remember.
Actually, has it been on my list?
I don't think you said it.
Oh, no, it is. No, it is.
Oh, did you?
It was
Okay.
after Aquaman. Okay.
Okay, I didn't remember.
I thought it was.
It's been a while.
Because I think I said it wasn't on my list, and then was surprised when I got to it.
I did appreciate on this last viewing how much the villain actors were like hilariously trying, and like they're really lame and not what you want, but like that Japanese emperor guy, like he's trying.
Yeah, for sure. My number 6 is my double.
Oh,
it is. Do you want to guess, or should I just say
no?
it?
Go ahead. I'm not sure.
My number 6 is Justice League.
Oh yeah, okay. I should have been able to call
Both
that.
versions.
Yep.
Different issues, but same movie at the end of the day.
Very few of our audience will agree with that. In either,
Very few
direction.
will agree with me, and that's fine.
Even I don't really
That's
agree with
fine.
that, and I don't love the Snyder Cut or anything. But even I don't have that.
It's the same movie through a different director's lens, so it's like I can watch the crappy Whedon version, I can watch the crappy Snyder version, but at the end of the day, it's the same basic movie. And I don't know. It's really hard for me to pick one over the other. That is probably one where I will flip-flop till the day I die. If I ever have to see it again, hopefully not, but I probably will, because we'll have to do it on rewind.
We'll put it way off because we did DCEU Mania. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's a pro and con thing. One of them's more annoying. One of them's 4 hours long, and neither of them are enjoyable to sit through. I don't think either cut really adds enough to make me hate it more or like it more. It's just an awful adaptation of Justice League, and just an awful movie both ways. So, but we've done hours and hours and hours and hours, partly because one of them is 4 hours long, discussion.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you. Like we can fight about like little minutia and stuff. I still don't like those movies. Like,
yeah, exactly. The only thing I can say that I get any enjoyment out of, and thank you for mentioning this, Greg Goat, is just that we can call one of them the Snut.
that's true. We did.
That's the only enjoyment I get from
and
either
that's
version.
what we've got. You know.
Exactly. It's the one thing I got.
So Austin, my next movie came out last year. It is number 6 on my list, and it just came out. And I again saw it one time, and also might read obligatory because most people at this point would have this really high, and it pissed off the universe. But yeah, it is that bad. It's Joker 2.
Superman.
And I'm not putting Joker with Joker 2.
I think it was the year before.
Oh, was it?
I think it was 24.
I'm
like
sorry,
right
everything's blending together so hard for me now. Which
We're
means
9 days into January. It's okay.
Which means toward the end of the year, it technically could count on the commentary project now. That's hilarious.
Oh, don't say that.
No, I'm not going to do it yet, but... we talked about Joker earlier because Austin had that on his list, I think. Yeah, pretty sure that's why we talked about him. And so, as I've said before, after we did our commentary on it, I found myself turning, or preparing for that. I found myself turning on it pretty hard. And so Joker 2 like adds insult to injury, where like I would hate that if I loved Joker, but I started seeing the seams so much with what that director was doing with the first movie, where like I've said, I was a little bit duped. I felt along with everybody else with that, and I felt like we were being kind of trolled by that guy, and I feel like he retroactively would talk about that as kind of something different than what he made. And then with Joker 2, he does that again to an even larger degree, where he just... It makes that first movie, even if you like it, kind of a waste of time. If you don't just ignore that second movie came out. Which anybody that likes that first movie, that's what they have to do now, because the sequel doesn't have to ruin the original. But when you come back and you basically, like undercut what seemed to be the point of that first movie and say, no, psych, he didn't have this transformation, he hasn't become this other character, or if you buy what Phillips originally said about it, that he took his mask off and showed us who he really was, which I don't buy. I don't think that's what's happening in that movie. He doesn't either by the second one. It's, I don't want to talk about these movies anymore. It really irritates me. The whole thing feels like a giant waste of time. But anyway, then when you get to that second movie, when he does that to you, and then the way that, spoiler alert, he kills him at the end and all of that, that's one of those rare exceptions where I feel like it kind of does ruin your first movie. Like, if you want to count it as canon or whatever. I don't know how you feel about that sort of thing, Austin, where, like, if you have just 2 movies and the second one is bad enough, is it easy for you to just headcanon it out and just let the first movie, like, live on its own? You like
I mean, I kind of have that with Kick-Ass.
Yeah, sure. So, I guess you could have that with Joker. But this is just a little bit of a horse of a different color for me, I guess, just because, like I said, it made the seems the first movie kind of show for me. I'm not being super articulate with this because I don't like thinking about these anymore. I really wish they had never happened and that I didn't have to deal with them. And I'm not even talking about how the guy doesn't care at all about the source material, is not doing anything cool with the Batman stuff. It didn't really matter that it was ever that character or that world or anything. So, like, in a way, we shouldn't even be having to talk about it because it's not really a superhero movie at all at the end of the day. He's just using, like, names and ideas sort of as a starting point to do his own thing. I don't know why Harvey Dent is in that second movie at all.
Or why he's got a Two-Face by the end.
Yeah. Like, what are we even doing with that?
That's life. Yeah, I mean, even in terms of just trolling the audience, like, there are, really good movies that do that. Like, obviously, like, the best one is Gremlins 2. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I think, does a good job with that. But it just sounds like
they're also entertaining and clever about it, and they don't hate their audience. This movie,
that's what I was gonna say.
That's the real cynical thing, is that it hated its audience. Like, it was angry that people were as into that first movie as they were, and that like defined his career. And we talked about all this before, but
yeah. All I know is we're doing Gremlins 3, bring in Joaquin Phoenix as Joker into Gremlins 3 and have the Gremlins eat him.
Like I said, I think just the best way to describe it is a waste of time. The musical aspect of it was odd and unnecessary, and...
Well, when they announced it, and Slipmaker just said this as well, but when they announced it, I was like, oh, that's different. Like,
yeah.
There was that part of me.
I was really curious about that.
It is kind of funny because what is that? I think it's called like New York, or maybe it's something New York, I think. But the movie he did after Scorsese did after Taxi Driver was a musical. So like there was a bit of me that was kind of like, oh no, are we just gonna do that? Now we're gonna go through his entire filmography in this franchise. But it was kind of interesting when they announced it was a musical, because that was obviously going to turn off a lot of people. But then they announced it was a jukebox musical.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so you're also going to half-ass it. Like, okay. So, I don't know.
Yeah, because that was a thing that you kind of expected to stand on its own, and it didn't really need sequels, and because it was so popular, there was that worry that we'd come back and do an obligatory sequel. And then when they announced musical and made a big deal out of, we weren't going to do this unless we had a really cool original idea. The first thing that suggests is you're compensating, you're going, you're working as hard as you can to not just do the same thing again, and to go your own way and really kind of subvert expectations, and then weird way you kind of make the same movie again, but now just with this musical aspect and with a kind of romance plot attached to it. And I think Lady Gaga was actually kind of well cast and did as good as she could with it, but it was a god awful script. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. All I know is I really want to watch Gremlins after the stream. Gremlins 2 specifically. My number 5, unless you have anything else to say about that.
No, I'm good. I'm not being super articulate. And again, I'm struggling to even remember things about that movie. I just hated it.
Yeah. We lined up on our number 5. Or no, because that was your number 6?
6. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, so never mind. We didn't line up, but my number 5 is Birds of Prey.
I can't. My mind is blown that you have it that much higher than I did, because I really hate that movie, and this suggests that you hate it more than I do. I don't think that's possible.
No, because I also think I don't. It's like, that is really funny, but I also expected it to be higher even from there. I thought you would still have it higher than me, even putting it that high.
Oh wow, you thought it'd be like in my top 3 or something?
Yeah.
I just think that there
absolutely.
are worse made movies and movies that don't hold together even as well as that. So there is it turns into a competence problem where I find myself putting less competent movies above it.
Like Super Buddies.
No, Super Buddies was one below Birds of Prey.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was one higher.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, never mind. It's worse. Okay, fair enough.
That still has a typical 3-act structure. It's an easy story to follow. It's just stupid.
Stupid Super Buddies. Whoa.
Birds of Prey is a mess, but there are messier things.
Yes.
And it's not even how messy it is that is the thing that most irritates me about that movie. But anyway, why do you have it as high as you have it?
Well, I hate Harley Quinn, and it's a movie that's entirely about Harley Quinn, just being annoying, and then the Birds of Prey all suck except for Huntress, who you see her more in flashbacks of the same sequence more than you just see her just in general, and it's a very annoying movie. And on top of that, so I think at this point, because like I said, I flip flop on these. Suicide Squad, I think I can give somewhat of a pass in being a mess and how it ends up the way it does, while Birds of Prey is trying to be like that.
Oh, that's a good point. It's conceptualized.
So it's one of these things is forced into it, and the other is let's do that. And I'm that irritates me more. But who knows? Maybe I'll flip on it again, because, like I said, I always flip flop on them. But yeah, I think it's an incredibly irritating movie to sit through. It does have, I will give it, it does have good choreography. I will give it that.
That's what I was going to say is, I can say a positive thing about that movie that's a substantial positive thing in a way I can't with my top at least 3.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
And that's not even the music is good or this character was cast well, but
because it's not.
Right, but I'm just saying in general, the kinds of
I know.
backhanded compliments that you'll give movies, choreography is a big give with that, because it does have really good action in places. Particularly that last fight at the end. I just don't care about any of those characters, but there's some neat, and there's even some neat cinematography there and lighting and stuff. That's what I'm saying is there's some competency in that movie. It just, I just find it cynical and it pisses me off. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And again, I'm mad about other things than you are, because like the Cassandra Cain thing ticks me off, and
yeah,
and just calling it Birds of Prey makes me angry. Like, I don't like it when the names of my favorite things are associated with my least favorite things. I hate that. I hate that my favorite character in fiction is named Picard. Because now when that name comes up, everybody goes to the worst TV show of all time. And like I hate it. That kind of feeling. It's like now Birds of Prey comes up, one of my favorite DC properties, and inevitably we have to talk about this stupid movie again.
But the last negatives I will give it is just the stupid egg scene, which like my most hated thing on all of film, and also does like my most annoying trend, which is the slow version of a song is like the sad theme. It's so annoying. But anyways,
I just think it's
what
amazing
is your number 5?
that my 6 and your 5 both have Harley Quinn in them, and are the only movies that, or rather, I picked the only movie that has a Harley Quinn not played by that actress. So we have different Harley Quinns in movies back to back.
It's rivaling Harleys.
Isn't that weird? Okay, now we get into some stuff that's been talked about before. My 5 is superhero movie. It's just that bad. Like, it's obligatory, but...
Is which one? Sorry? I looked down at the chat and missed what you said.
A superhero movie.
Oh, God.
But I had it a few notches above you.
That's true, yeah. I had it at, what, 20? 19? Something? I don't know.
Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, would I rather have to sit through Birds of Prey again over superhero movie? Like, as much as that movie makes me mad, probably. Like, Kick-Ass 2 over superhero movie? Probably. So that's why it's that high.
Superhero movie is a really bad movie.
Like, I started with my top picks to get to this almost like, in my mind anyway, like objective place where it's like, these are movies that just are that bad. I don't know what else to say about them.
No, I mean, if I were to rank all of the movies, superhero movie is the worst one.
That's what you said when it came up on your list.
It's either that or Scary Movie 2. I don't know, it's one of the two. But date movie's also pretty bad.
But we're getting into those kind of Clockwork Orange movies where it's like, these would be good torture devices. You pry a person's eyes open and you force them to watch these movies.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that...
And like, people can contend with some of the stuff it might. I mean, they can contend with whatever they want to, but I see people contending more with the bottom of my top 10, where it's like, there were one or two people that said like Let There Be Carnage isn't that bad, but I think my top 4 at least, no, my top 5 at least, most everyone would agree torture device movies. We would be hard-pressed to find somebody in the audience that would go, nah, I'm going to watch that right when we're done. What are you talking about? I'm like, even Turtles 3, I can see somebody doing that over my 5. So I think there's a clear cutoff, even between Joker 2 and my torture device 5. Like, Joker 2, for me, borderline torture device.
See, I feel like my last 10 have all been torture device movies for me.
Sure. Well, again, like for me personally, yes, but I'm just saying, I think we're getting to an almost objective place.
Torture. Yeah. Okay.
That's all I'm suggesting.
If torture can be objective, I don't know. I feel like that's a subjective thing.
Generally speaking, yes. Maybe not with these. Well, that's the thing. I should mention this. We are operating in a genre that has some of the worst movies of all time, and I mean, you can maybe say that about any genre, but I think superhero is up there in there's more bad movies than good movies, and there's more really bad movies than in some other genres. Maybe I mean or maybe I should say subgenre, because superhero was thought of as more of a subgenre for the longest time. We didn't make so many of these, but like obviously there's a lot of bad horror. There's a lot of bad action.
Also, a lot more horror and a lot more action movies.
Yeah, and again, superhero is kind of a subgenre of action, generally speaking. There are superhero movies that are not action movies, certainly, but generally speaking. And I think
for sure.
It also feels like a rougher track record when more superhero movies than not are blockbusters and are made with high budgets. And so when there's more bad ones, it looks like your track record is rougher. Where it's like horror almost gets a pass because it's such a cheap thing to make.
Yeah,
it makes sense
that
you'd have so many kind of bad basement movies with that genre.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair.
With superhero, you're talking about such a commercial mainstream,
just expensive genre.
Yeah, but also generally speaking, supposed to be for everybody, like kind of family movies. Accessible.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. My number 4 has 4 in the title. It's Fant4stick.
I mean, yeah. It again, objectively bad.
It's mainly this high because it took me like 6 viewings to get through it.
Yeah, it seems like your standard for worst thing is boring more than anything.
Yes. It's either boring or grating.
Yeah, grading is more. Grading goes over boring for me more often, which is why Fant4stick is lower on my list.
And I flip flop,
because I'm not annoyed.
There are movies that I would say are more boring, yet are worse, and then there's other ones that are more grating that I would say are worse. I'm inconsistent on it, and I know, but it's definitely between those two. Like those are the two worst things you can be.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Anything else you want to mention about that we didn't already talk about when we talked about it?
Well, they also made one of the coolest looking Jack Kirby designs look like a sex doll. I don't know why we did that, but there you go. Thanks, Josh Trank.
I can't wait for us to do the commentary on that just so you can say that again. Say it again.
And just complain about how that tanked Tony Cavill's career.
Yeah.
The year after Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, too.
That movie, it's still baffling to me the way it time jumps, and it almost holds up a sign that says our movie's not done, and then has to stretch for time. You might as well have an inner title in the middle of the movie that just says missing frames.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so strange.
No, I mean, there's whole ideas that are ripped from the script, down to the point that, oh my god, what is that actor's name? The guy who plays the leader. He was cast as Mole Man.
Oh, really?
And they, I think, filmed it where he was Mole Man, and then he's just some guy in the actual movie. It's same with every time they say Doom, it's awkwardly
80 yard
dubbed over. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because he was supposed to be Victor Dumashev.
Oh, that's right.
Victor Von Doom.
I forgot about that.
Because Dumashev sounds so stupid. It's one of those things where you go, that comic name is dumb, we need to fix it, and then you make it dumber, trying to make it sound more realistic.
You make it even more comic booky in a stupid way.
Exactly. Thank you, Daniverse. Tim Blake Nelson, yeah. Because for the longest time, I was like, it's so funny how he was Mole Man and didn't get to be Mole Man, and then he was the leader and didn't get to be the leader. Obviously, he got to be the leader, but then I always forget he isn't technically Mole Man in that movie because they changed it. So
I didn't know about that, or had forgotten. when I did the rewind on that, I did a lot of research about all the weird business with Trank, and I wrote a lot about that. But
Yeah.
it's been a long time.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's such a train wreck.
And this won't
there's
be a
so
surprise
much.
to anyone, but that's not one I put in a lot.
Does anyone own this movie?
Does anybody own that? I mean, I do, but that's just because I have an archive of crap back. There's good stuff, but I have an archive of a lot of crap back here. Yeah,
But Cappy,
anybody but me own that?
You are the speed van man of Fant Four Stick. You are the only person who owns a copy of this. You have the one copy.
I'm like the collector in Guardians, man. I've got everything for no good reason.
Exactly.
You know, I'm making a historic record of it. You know, like,
you can't pretend this didn't exist. Fox and now Disney. I know it exists.
yeah, exactly. When I'm long dead, I'll have this like in my superhero movie collection is buried underground. Like someone in decades, centuries from now will unearth these things and find a Blu-ray player that still works, and they'll watch Fant Four Stick.
It'll be like long after the human race is gone.
Yeah.
Aliens come down, and the only proof that we existed was Fant Four Stick on DVD, not even on Blu-ray.
See, I'm not a collector. I'm an archivist. We got to archive
Exactly.
the history of this nonsense. Well, speaking of nonsense, my number 4, and I got to be honest with you, I actually thought this would be higher on your list. You didn't think I would even remember it, much less that I would be able to guess it on your list. My number 4 is Thunder Force, because it's that bad.
Oh, Thunder Force, Urkel. It's really bad.
There is not one element that remotely works in that movie, and it feels like anti-entertainment.
Mm.
And that's another one of those movies where it's like, did you make this just to... Did you think anybody was going to watch it? Like, when
It was
you
just going
made
straight
it,
to Netflix. Maybe they thought no one was going to
nobody
watch
would
it.
actually look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it in forever, but I don't think there's one positive thing that we had to say about that.
No.
And, like, it's not funny. It's not clever. It doesn't seem to have any reverence for the genre. Like, sometimes...
Outside of it makes money.
Right. No, that's exactly it. It's like, oh, superhero movies. People watch those. We better make one of those. That's sometimes, to me, some of the worst in this, or I guess any genre, but especially superhero, is the obligatory superhero movie made by people who don't like superheroes.
Mhm.
Or, like, have never read a comic book. So, like, they know the tropes insofar as they're in the zeitgeist. And so, like, that can be really lame and kind of embarrassing. But also just no fun for us, like, people that are actually into it. And then you have that who is this for problem, where it's like, so you made a superhero movie for people who like superhero movies, or who theoretically like the idea of superhero movies but have never watched one of these things. Who are they? And you didn't make this for children. That's the other thing, is like, you made a raunchy comedy thing that isn't going to appeal to people that like this genre. But, like, so then who is it for? Because you can't introduce anyone to the genre. And you're not going to introduce people to fun, raunchy comedies through this premise. So who's it for?
Yeah. It's for people who require a nurse to come by every 20 minutes to wipe the drool from their lip.
That was oddly specific.
That's it.
Wow. RG Godzilla Thunder
Basically
Force was
no one.
another Melissa McCarthy movie making fun of the genre franchise's fan base. Do you think so? That's maybe a good call. So then,
I don't know.
if that were true, though, then you really have the who is this for question, where it's like, okay, so we make a thing to just give people crap that like this stuff, But the problem is, like,
I don't think that movie
that
was
plays like cynical comedy, but it doesn't play like it. I don't know. It's playing it being endearing though.
And it's been so long, but I don't remember that movie like having that same like disdain for nerds.
No,
that Ghostbusters does.
no, I didn't. I didn't have that.
I
either.
don't want to go that far with it, but like at the same time, yeah, I don't know who it's for.
No, I think it's just cash grabby. Well, I think it's exactly what
Yeah.
you said, where it's like, well, superhero movies make money. And remember, this comes out in 21, so we're.
Oh my god, it's been that long.
It's been, I think it was 21, yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's being produced at the same time as, like, Endgame is coming out. Or maybe is about to come out. And so, yeah.
For Endgame? That'd be 2 years after. If it's 21, Endgame's 19.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is I said that movie would be
sorry, it's being made.
made.
Sorry, I'm being dumb.
You're all right.
Sorry.
Like around while Endgame is coming out or just before it, which means you're in a period where some people are already talking about franchise fatigue with superheroes, but it's still clearly making money in some places, and you're about to break all the records. So my only point with that is it makes sense that there's some like cheap cash grab stuff still happening with the genre. It's weirder when it happens now. Because, like, yeah, there's still some money that's being made in it, but all with the most high-profile tentpole characters for the most part. It isn't like, oh, a new superhero thing nobody's heard of comes out and it does a lot of money. I'm not saying that'll never happen again. It's just rarer, and you're not in a period where like people feel like Marvel can do no wrong.
Yeah, stuff's got to change for that.
All I'm saying is Guardians would be harder to sell now, even if it was the exact same movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and also to your point about it being made in 2019, the Thunder Force suits are just the green Captain Marvel costume that she wears at the beginning of that movie.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they're ripping stuff off and they're having there's no imagination to it.
Which I mean is fine since it's like a comedy, but you also have to be funny.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point too. But like. Real quick, just to the point I made about Guardians, like if, for instance, if Thunderbolts, that exact same movie somehow, and that also has thunder in the title, if that exact same movie comes out in Phase 3, we've maybe made this point before, like in 14 or 15, it would have done twice the money that it did. That exact same movie.
Yeah, like 17, 18, I think it would have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. My number 3.
Ooh, can I read this comment real quick?
Yes.
RJ Godzilla says Thunder Force is the Ghostbusters 2016 of superhero movies. No, I think Ghostbusters 2016 is the Ghostbusters 2016 of superhero movies. Because
that's trying to be
it's trying to be a superhero movie, yeah. And I'm not going to count it for lots of reasons. Mainly because I don't want to have to do a commentary on it. But I don't think it should count, but they kind of they're looking at Ghostbusters like a superhero property.
Yeah. My number 3 is the third movie in a franchise. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Wow. You have that at 3. I mean, yeah, that sucks, but that's shocking it's that high. Wow. Okay, tell us why you hate it that much.
I feel like I've just been on like
I've got
throwing little
way worse movies in my top 3
tonight,
than Quantum Movie. Than Quantum
the Quantum movie.
Quantum Movie, yeah.
I don't know. Quantumania is pretty despicable. No, to me, Ant-Man 3 is like it feels like their Attack of the Clones. Like it looks like everything was on a green screen. Everything. Look, I don't like any of the characters, the performances. Their MODOK is baffling and terrible. I hate Kang in that movie, and he's like the one thing that people do like in it, and I don't even like him. And takes away the only thing interesting about doing an Ant-Man movie, which is that he like shrinks and grows, and we can do fun stuff with that. But you went to a subterranean world where it doesn't matter. Like, who cares? You're not seeing him shrink and like being near like a toy train and haha, like it's like a real train now because he's small.
Okay,
like, we
but
lost any of that.
okay, but let me suggest that if the story was good, you wouldn't have cared about that so much, because that is the equivalent. Let me just I get through this point. So
I do think I would be annoyed still, but go ahead.
yeah, but let me suggest that it's the equivalent of taking a character's powers away, and we've seen that done well in things.
But the difference there is that we usually then have some sort of big payoff where we go like full on, here you
Well,
go.
that's what I'm saying.
You're never going to get that.
You would also have to. Well, you still could, depending on what kind of. You'd have to structure it differently. It just depends on what kind of story you're telling. But like, you could have like the middle part of that take place there, and then have a big third act that takes place back on the surface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like you also lose the ant thing, and then obviously we bring them in at the end, and that's supposed to be like that part of it is like, look, now we got ants.
But I don't think the worst thing about that movie is spending time in the quantum realm, because I feel like they spent a lot of time with the first two movies like acting like it would be really fun to do stuff with that, and so it does sort of make sense that you would end up there.
But my thing is, I don't think the quantum realm's interesting. Like, I don't want to go to the quantum realm. I want to do like cool Ant-Man stuff. Like,
but
that's
I'm thinking
the
about
entire
this,
appeal.
I get that, but I'm thinking about this on a. Well, it's two things. So first of all, grander for the grander Marvel universe, doing something in the quantum universe is like the microverse. Like, that is a. It's like if you had a whole movie, The Savage Land. Like, that is a major area that we've done stuff with in Marvel.
Yeah, but also that's a big part of why Ant-Man 3 is awful, is that they took something that was the small little corner just doing its own thing and went, no, it's important to the Marvel universe now.
Sure.
Now it's got to be important. We got to make it big. We got to make it like important, and we got to go to the other realm where we then introduce our next big bad, and like all of this stuff is bogging this movie down.
But the other point I would make is the Ant-Man movies never had legs to me, and making that a trilogy was always bizarre in my brain, so I'm not going to fault it as much for being an event movie, if only if it was good. Because when you go, well, what's fun about these movies is he shrinks and he gets bigger, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm over it.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing is, like, the first movie has fun with it, the second one less so, and then the third one abandons it completely. Like, we're slowly losing it as those movies go on, and like that's the interesting thing. So like, part of why I think the movies get worse and worse is because we don't care. Like, there's no creative vision, and like, how do we make fun Ant-Man set pieces?
Yeah, but I also don't think that movie gets made because, like, so much because of Ant-Man, and like, I guess that's kind of fuel for your fire. But like, you were probably never gonna get that because those movies didn't perform super well anyway, and that was all played out. There wasn't anything else really left to do.
But then that's where it's more of just, well, then they went, we're not gonna do that. Here's Slop, and I'm like, yeah, this is so much worse. It's god awful. It's probably the worst thing you guys have made.
But the fact that they didn't play around with what was fun about the first movie with the relative size thing and all of that, I think is like the 49th or 50th biggest problem with that movie. You know, like, I think
to be fair, I was just listing stuff, and then we just kind of got stuck on the one.
Enough.
I was just going, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and then we got stuck on.
I was getting the sense that was like your main issue. This isn't like the ultimate,
like, this is the main issue. No, this is like one of like 60 reasons this movie is god awful.
Okay, no, fair enough. No, you're right, because if they had not gone to the quantum realm, to your point, and leaned into that, you'd have at least something that's plausibly enjoyable. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. No, and like I like Paul Rudd and his daughter in the first movie, and we got rid of her and replaced her with a different actress, and they don't work anymore. So it's like even some of the little things I do like, because I don't love any of those Ant-Man movies. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But like the few stuff that I think works in those first two are just completely gone by three. Like it is just slop.
Can I, at the risk of being annoying, can I go back to that point one more time, just real fast, and suggest that how hard would it be, since we're so loosey-goosey with the tech in those movies anyway, how hard would it be to just contrive some technobabble to say that relative to the quantum verse, he can still shrink and get big inside of the quantum? How the hell hard would that have been to do?
Well, I mean, I think we do still have like him get big and stuff, but it doesn't really have like any impact. I don't think.
Oh, I couldn't remember if we actually do that or not.
We at least have him become
I saw that
big.
once. Oh, really? Okay. Well, forget what I just said. I guess they do that, but
I don't know. It sucks. It is funny though watching Michael Douglas in that movie be like, God, this is it. Just get through this one and we're gone.
yeah.
And Bill Murray shows up for one scene, but they cut his character.
All about that.
Yeah, because they cut all of his stuff.
That is probably a movie that I'm moving to my top 10 after we do a commentary on it, because I've never done a material on it past its initial release.
Yeah. No, and Bill Murray has probably the most enjoyable thing, I would say, with this movie, which is just in an interview somebody was like, what was it like filming a Marvel film? And he was like, well, I wouldn't do that again. I thought I would try it and I'm good.
That's sad though, because he might not have said that had it been 7 or 8 years prior.
Or if he just got to do a better one, even at the time.
If he was in a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying it would have been more likely he was in a good one 7 or 8 years prior. That's all I meant.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Okay, my number 3. You've been waiting for it, Austin. Do you have a guess?
Is it my superhero ex-girlfriend?
It's my super ex-girlfriend. Yes, indeed. And I am terrified to go back to that. If I had found...
I'm a little sad I didn't make your number 1, but 3 is at least acceptable.
I feel like it would be incorrect to put it at 1, because it's, again, slightly more competently made than my top 2. But it's one of the movies that's made me most angry in my career doing this. And, again, I'm scared to death to have to sit through it again, because it just... It just made me want to punch things, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun idea to have, and again, it's hard to speak to this because I haven't seen it in so long. But it's kind of a fun idea to do a romantic comedy with a superpowered character like that, and then sort of do the tick sitcom thing where you're going to focus on a relationship instead of the actual superhero stuff. And so all the superhero stuff is in the background, and this guy realizes that he's dating this superhero chick. Nobody feels remotely like a real person. It's supposed to be a romantic comedy. Nothing is funny. And again, it's that who is it for question. The other thing that's weird about it, thinking about it retroactively, is it's kind of Hancock before Hancock, although I think Hancock is the better movie.
Yeah, I guess it kind of is that. I've seen this movie, but...
Oh, have you?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I watched it with my mom when I was a kid. I think I've maybe seen it a couple times, but I don't have enough of an opinion. I'd need to go back. It's basically watching it for the first time. But I have seen it.
Wow. It's gonna be very odd for us to go back and have to sit through that.
Yeah, it's not something I'm looking forward to.
And it sucks because I like Uma Thurman, Like,
Yeah.
it's sometimes worse when you can see
Ivan
the
Reitman
potential.
can be pretty good.
Yeah, when you can see the potential in things.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking with that.
I can't remember who the other girl is in it. 'Cause there's like the other one.
I don't remember now either. You remember,
But I remember it being
clearly
somebody.
more about this than I do. Again, I'm
I
basing
remember
this.
stuff like that, and I remember she throws a shark at him.
Again, I'm basing this on how it made me feel more than anything.
Yeah.
People are surprised it's not my number one. If I went back to it, it possibly could have been. I seriously thought about watching it again this week, and I just couldn't get to it.
Anna Faris, that's who it is. Thank you, Anna Faris. I knew it was somebody.
Not that I was making it like a high priority or anything.
Yeah, of course. You weren't like, come on, fam, we're gonna all watch my super ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, because I make my whole family watch the terrible things that I have to look at, so that
We also famously only refer to them as fam. You like that is like your iconic thing.
in fact, that's like a pet peeve of mine where I hate it when people shorten family to fam, and when people like call people that are not their family fam. I just that's a thing with me. I don't like that.
I feel like
there's YouTube channels that do that where like they
that's
call
what I
their
was gonna say. Is I
viewers
feel like Geekvolution,
fam.
you'd be at like 8 billion subs if you were like, "Hey fam, it's me, the captain."
Is that what I've been missing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the shtick down.
Hey fam, this is my garage. I got my Ferrari in the corner. Let's review my super ex-girlfriend.
I don't know if I can muster the courage to start saying that.
No, for sure.
Hey, I love the way you formulated it though. Hey fam, this is the captain. That's great.
You gotta shorten that down too.
Like I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. Like the Logan has to leave. It's like I'm the captain. And like I open every video with like a detached sailing ship wheel.
Yeah, and you're
Where
like,
I'm like, hi, hey fam, it's the captain. And I just toss the wheel every video.
and then you're like, tonight on Volution, we're gonna be reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
On Volution.
Yeah, on Volution. You gotta shorten that down too.
What does that even mean?
It was short for Geekvolution.
It's a great idea to have a shortened form of a thing that people already don't know what the hell it is and can't pronounce. It's a great idea.
Yeah. And then you can be like, come on, my Volutionites, let's do this.
One of my favorite things to do is to leave super chats on. Not that I do this a lot, but I have done this on live streams from other channels, just to see if they can pronounce the name of the channel.
Oh, I thought you were
And
be
there
like,
are
hey, fam, here's $5.
no, but because you leave a super chat and then they have to read the name of the person that left it, and I mean we've experienced this a lot where it's like, how do you say that? And there are lots of amusing variations that happen.
That's me going anywhere where they ask you your name, and then they like write it on like your receipt or whatever. Nobody can spell my name. It's weird, and not even like different variations of Austin. Like half the time, it doesn't even come out as that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one person spelled my name like AISM. Like this is what? What is this?
What even is that? That's great. The variation that I get the most with Geekvolution is it's like the word is too long, so they have to break it up. Like the top one I hear is Geek Evolution.
I have had family members come up to me and be like, "How is the Geek Revolution going?" And I'm like, "That just sounds like I'm in like a fight."
Yeah. Well, I think that was originally kind of the idea that it was like a geek revolution. Because for people that don't know, I did not make up the name of the channel. It started with another guy who was trying to start a million years ago now, trying to start a geeky like social media service called it Geekvolution. And I told him up front I thought it was a dumb sounding name. And then
You wanted to be the captain and fam.
Well, I've told this story before, but it started as My Geek Life, and then Geekvolution was part of the tagline of it. It was like, join the Geekvolution, and then later he changed it and just made that the name. And I was writing blogs for him, reviewing stuff. That's how I started reviewing. And then when he decided to get out of that, he basically gave me the business, and I turned it into this. And he let me keep the name, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this name, but I was already sort of married to it, and it was nice of him to give it to me, so I hung on to it. So I like it now, but it took a lot of time. Anyway,
Tobin Bell Pones gives $2 or $1.99. You want to get technical? He says one of these two lists suck.
That's awesome. I love how now he's criticizing us. Like, that's fantastic. Usually it's whatever we're reviewing.
We don't know which one.
We don't know which one. Yeah,
like...
he could be. I think it's more likely that he's with me, but who knows?
Oh, I was going to say the same thing about me.
Really? Yeah, but you usually have the more contentious list between us.
Oh, okay.
Plushie DX, the name sounds weird.
Aw.
I have at various points considered finally replacing it, and
you can't replace it now.
I know,
that'd be so weird.
It's been so long. Well, when we thought about streamlining and going completely 100% superhero, I seriously considered changing it just straight up to Superhero Rewind, like as the channel name. But there's other things we like to do, and so I've never been able to bring myself to do it. And I got the tattoo, so that really solidified
more
it.
reason that you can't do it.
Yeah,
then you gotta get rid of that tattoo.
Like, the fact that I've got this makes me feel a little funky about changing it now, but
yeah, exactly. I think we're on my number 2, right?
Austin, boy, this movie is bad if Cap is talking about anything but the movie.
It's true.
Go ahead, Austin.
My number 2 is not technically a film, but I figured it counts because it counts for.
Oh, I know what it is.
Well, because we had specials on the 100, so I was like, I feel like this can count. It's Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night, yeah.
That, and part of it too is I'm like, it's like 5 minutes shorter than the Wolfman. That's fine.
Like, I know you hate what they did with Man-Thing, but is it really bad enough to go at 2?
Yeah, no, I hate that special just in general. The Man-Thing is just like rubbing salt in my wound. No, I hate Werewolf by Night because it feels like an homage to something that no one involved has ever looked at, and it's really, really embarrassing, and it's kind of one of my favorite things.
Thunder Force with superhero things.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have no reverence for this material.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the Universal monsters. I love monster movies. I love all that stuff, and like none of it comes out in that special. It 100% feels like make this, which is weird because like Giacchino asked to make it, and I don't know why, because like it doesn't feel like he has passion for that stuff. So,
or he wasn't allowed to do it the way you wanted to do it.
Yeah, and maybe that.
There's a lot of that.
Dump it entirely at his feet, but like, and also like in his defense, like he's also like not mainly a director.
Yeah, he's never made anything like that.
Yeah, like it's something completely different for him. So it also could just be, maybe he struggles to get that through. Yeah, exactly, Braden. It's an affront to me as a person. Yeah, that's kind of just my main thing, and I also don't think it really has much of a plot. Like it feels like a filler episode in an Elsa Bloodstone TV show, and where we just went, I don't know, we have to make 8 episodes. We couldn't fill 8 episodes, so I don't know. In this episode, she goes to like a maze for like a minute. So it's like the Disney Plus thing plus that. So it's just like everything about it, and then on top of it, they ruined my favorite character and I will never get him well in the MCU now. So thank you. Um,
Yeah, that's sad.
so it's just like I said, that's just salt in the wound.
Wasn't he like eating at a picnic at the end of that or something?
He was making coffee for
Oh, that's what it was.
by night.
I have to confess, I've never seen that apart from our initial reaction stream.
And I have gone back to it.
So I knew you had, but yeah, so I watched it talking over it. So I remember thinking some of the visuals were kind of neat, but I can't really speak to it.
Yeah, no, that's fair because, like I said, we were talking over it, and I was freaking out when we watched it.
I know. I remember next to nothing about that story.
It barely has one, so there you go. But yeah, just I don't know. It's an affront to me as a person, as Braden said.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. But yeah, 2 is a little surprising to me. That it seems like that has lived rent free in your head.
It's 2 because I genuinely get annoyed and like flustered talking about it, and yeah, like it does just live with me. Like, is it the worst thing they've ever made? No. Does it annoy me more than anything they've made? Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I've got stuff like that on my list.
Yeah.
Like, you were surprised by how high I had Turtles 3. I mean, that was sort of that kind of thing, at least going back to childhood.
That's all right. Well, and also part of it was I thought you'd already said it. It's just like, wait a minute. You can't do it twice. It's not fair.
So we did not do this on purpose. The way
Do we
this
both have
is
specials?
no, but the way this is lining up, it's really shocking to me, and I'm also surprised that I haven't heard this on your list yet, unless I don't remember from before, or unless it's your number 1, which is plausible. It would be interesting if we were right up together with that. But my number 2 is, and it's funny because this was, I think, supposed to be theatrical, but ended up being direct to video, or maybe it released somewhere. It was a really strange release. My number 2 is Man-Thing.
My number 1
is it Man-Thing?
Is Man-Thing.
I figured it had to be high. I was surprised we hadn't heard it yet.
No, I think Man-Thing is objectively the worst superhero film of all time.
I was real back and forth with my 1 and 2. Like, all the way up to now. Because, I think it actually is objectively the worst. But I had to be honest with myself. My actual number 1, like, bothers me more.
No, and, like, I've talked to John about this, because he's like, I get it. Like, I get what your issues are. But I don't care about Man-Thing. Like, I will never agree with you. It's objectively the worst
but
one.
I also don't care that much about Man-Thing. It's objectively the worst superhero movie ever made.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you can't look at it.
You would put it at 2.
You can't watch it. It's literally unwatchable. Like, you can't see what's happening in it.
Yeah. No, it is a Sci-Fi original film. That was supposed to go to the theaters. It's just bafflingly bad.
Yeah. It's hard to remember what happens in that, because I didn't understand what was happening in it while I was watching it.
Yeah,
I didn't know why I was supposed to care.
And he's either a native chieftain or he's a native, like, witch doctor. I can't remember which, but they don't change his name, so he's still Ted Sallis, which is really weird.
Oh, yeah, weird.
Yeah, and he's more Swamp Thing, because, of course, that's what we always do, but it's just, that stuff aside, just
but if it was
quality.
An okay Swamp Thing movie that they called Man-Thing, you could at least enjoy it for that.
Yeah, like, it would hurt my feelings a little bit, but I could still enjoy it just as a film. I could still take away that from it.
Or it at least wouldn't be the worst superhero movie ever made.
No.
Like, at the very
No, because like I said, most of that just comes down to actually watching it and just overall film quality.
Spider-Fan, I'm shocked that Man-Thing is above My Super Ex-Girlfriend. I didn't think Cap even remembered Man-Thing existed. I
did not expect that to make your list. And the more you were talking, I was like, oh my god, it's Man-Thing. His number 2 is Man-Thing.
And I didn't do this just because I've got Austin and I know he hates Man-Thing and I'm trying to get on his good side or something. Man-Thing was the hardest thing to get through in Marvel Mania, and it was the only commentary experience I can think of I've ever had where I nearly drifted off while we were making the content.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never had that.
Fair.
I couldn't stay awake watching it. And it's not just boring, like some of the things Austin was talking about. It's oppressively boring. It's like driving through Iowa at night boring.
No, because from what I remember, your guys' commentary is basically like, here's a thing I know about Man-Thing. Do you know anything about Man-Thing? Not really. God, we gotta sit through the next hour and 20 minutes, don't we?
And RJ Godzilla's mentioning, like, a lot of the other things we just said, putting them above Man-Thing, and, like, yeah, some of that stuff I've got more attachment to, not Thunder Force, but, like, some of that stuff I've got more attachment to source material, and, like, probably it technically irritates me, like, as a fan more, but like I said, Clockwork Orange, like, I can't sit through that movie. Like, I can't look at it.
Yeah. No, it's bad. And, like, I think if you're going to do it practically, like, I think his, like, the practical Man-Thing, like, it looks pretty good, but you see it, like, once for, like, 20 seconds.
Yeah, and it's always shot in silhouette. Like, you don't even really get to see it, hardly.
Yeah. No, it's just... Like you said, it's torture. It's water torture.
Yeah. And my real number one is also torture. You can see what's happening on the screen and you can kind of follow it, but it also looks horrible and is hard to look at and is offensively bad. You have to know what it is by now.
So I feel like I'm gonna have what you had with the MCU thing the other night, which is the second you say it, I'm gonna be like, oh duh. But right now I'm like having a real blank, and it's probably just because it's so late. I'm just like, nothing's coming to me. But the second you say it, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, no, of course.
And like, I notoriously hate this movie, and like everybody does. It's not like this isn't low-hanging fruit, but I put it off for the longest time when I was doing the written show, and when I finally did it, it was one of those reviews that kept coming up a lot afterwards. But anyway, my number one is Son of the Mask.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of that. It's
naturally.
Yeah, I think it's so late. I'm like, my brain can't even process Son of the Mask. Of course, yeah. I've still never seen it.
I still think Man-Thing is technically worse than that movie, but only in like how it's made and how.
But that does come down to the argument:
through it.
grading versus boring.
Yeah, that's it. And so grading wins out for me. Although, like I said, that one was neck and neck. It was real tough to put one over the other. And
well, you're such a big fan of The Mask, like that, I'm sure hits harder too.
That certainly doesn't help. I would hate it regardless.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Connor sent you an Arrow release of Son of the Mask, you would personally have him killed.
Yes, but I would watch the special features. I would be curious about that.
Oh, okay. You would do that before you had him killed.
Well, I would force him to sit through it, and then I would have him killed.
Oh, okay.
Connor, thanks for all the movies you sent me last year. I really appreciate that. No,
thanks for not sending Son of the Mask.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. It is, definitely in the category of anti-entertainment, and once again, has that Thunder Force question, but even more so of like, who is it for? Who did you think was going to enjoy this?
And way too late.
Yeah, and there was supposed to be a Mask 2 with Jim Carrey, and apparently he backed out of it at some point. And it's really sad when studios back then would be like so desperate to cash in on something that was popular that they would go like the direct-to-video route. I think that went to the theater. But much of the time, they would go like direct to video route. They'd have a completely different cast, and then they would just bank on people at least renting it. Where it's like, oh, I've heard of that. It's actually on the shelf. There's copies.
Yeah.
You don't see as much of that anymore, for obvious reasons. But occasionally, you'll still kind of have it. For example, we, for some stupid reason, decided to do, this is a little bit different, but like a decades later sequel to Kindergarten Cop, but I think it was Lou Ferrigno.
I think you're right, yeah, because
like,
that's part of that
I don't know why we did that.
line that made the Munsters, the one where they
just no, really?
make like the one where they just make like nothing but straight to DVD trash for franchise stuff. Daniver says that your 1 and 2 are both shot in Australian movies. I think if there's any takeaway is we should nuke Australia. Nothing good has ever come out of Australia.
Yeah, well, I want to know how many of my top 100 were shot in Australia versus my bottom 50. I would like to know that.
Yes. 0 on top 100. All of them for the bottom 50.
But another one I was going to mention is, and this is neither here nor there, and I can't remember if these went theatrical, but I think at least one of them might have been direct-to-video. I'm not sure. But do you know about the Escape Plan movies?
Yes. I remember when the first one came out. Yeah.
Brandon and I saw that together, and I think maybe reviewed it. So that was, of course, for people that don't know, Schwarzenegger and Stallone finally doing like a buddy movie together. And then Schwarzenegger wouldn't come back, but they made a sequel anyway. But Stallone came back, and they did it with Batista. They replaced Schwarzenegger with Batista. It's so weird.
When did they make a third one, or was it just the two?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was with the both of them again, or maybe it was Batista and then somebody. I can't remember. It would be great though if it was Batista and then somebody else, because then it would have the exact trajectory of. Sorry, we're off the rails here.
Country?
As Donkey Kong Country, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm glad we're on the same wavelength for that.
That's great that you thought of that. It's Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, and then it's Diddy Kong and Ditsy Kong, and it's Ditsy Kong and Kitty Kong.
Well, my favorite thing about Batista is that he can hover with his pigtails.
No, in fact, they did both come back for 3. So sadly, It was not the same trajectory as Donkey Kong Country.
That sucks.
That's my new favorite conversation that we've had, though. Oh, that's so good. Don't watch Son of the Mask. Seriously.
No, I don't want to.
And again, not funny at all. Really, really dreadful script. Bizarre some of the retread that it does from the original, even though they're not. I mean, I don't want to say to its credit, but it's not beat for beat the same movie, and it has the sequelitis problems that you have very often when you try to compensate too much and go too far in another direction, where you go, what do we do? We'll add a baby. There's way too many sequels that do that.
Babies are always funny.
Stop it. But where it retreads too much is it goes, well, what everybody remembers about that first movie is cartoons, so we have to have the mask go to another guy obsessed with cartoons. And the interesting thing to do with the mask is give it to different kinds of people and see how it brings out their lack of inhibition. Mm-hmm. And that's what the comics did with the Mask. I've always said that the Mask could be every movie could be in a different genre. There's so many cool different directions you could make Mask movies for different audiences. And the one thing they felt the need to repeat is he's into cartoons.
Yeah. That's so weird. Well, isn't the first one directed by Chuck Russell? He could have made a cool horror The Mask film.
Sure. Well, and that's probably maybe partly why they went to him, because it was supposed to be that in the first place. And they kind of
probably
they kind of pivoted midway through the script writing process or pre-production or something, and it was one of those really rare occurrences where it actually worked out for them, that they went for something more accessible, both in the final product, in my opinion, and in box office return.
Oh yeah. Like, there's no argument to be made that it made way more money because of that.
Yeah, where like it was a compromise that paid off. Now, it helps that the original source material is kind of juvenile and not that great in the first place. So yeah, they don't stick to that material, but what was cool about that was the concept before the execution. But there are interesting ideas there that weren't mined in that first movie that you totally could have done in a horror. Like, that's not to say there shouldn't be a horror version. And if you ever remade it, that's what you do. You don't remake it. You go back to the source material and you do the serial killer mask.
Do it as like a streaming show.
Absolutely.
And then each season
give it a different
is a
people.
different character.
Yeah. And you could that's great. And you could hand off stuff where you could have like a recurring character or two.
Yeah,
you have a little
and
connective tissue. You could maybe have like this would be very Daredevil, but you could maybe have like the one journalist character that's like following this thing around, and so every season like that person is like tracking the mask and keeps finding the different people that put it on, something like that.
Yeah, then you could change showrunners too if like you needed. Do something completely different.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Anyway, that is unwatchable and horrible. And we're going to have to watch it again at some point.
Well, again for you. I have to see it for the first time.
I'm kind of excited to see you have to look at that. As much as I hate it, like it's my least favorite superhero movie of all time. There are other movies that I'm dreading more than that, just because I get to watch you feel my pain.
You're like Plinkett in the Attack of the Clones review. They're like, no, you're going to watch Attack of the Clones with me and feel my pain.
I got to make my video review.
I will put a mask on my dog.
Well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We got through it. We did all 50 of our least favorite superhero movies, and we've gotten a ton of these. A ton of stuff done on these long list streams, Austin. I've really been enjoying them, man.
Yeah, no, they're always fun to pop in and do. Just talk about random movies.
So once again, if you're in, some of you guys weren't here at the beginning of the show, so I'll mention this again, but if you'll do us a favor and fill out your least favorite superhero movies list with the link in the description, we'll make the communal list, and then we'll come back and do another stream and count those down if we get enough responses. Right now we don't, I think, quite have enough, and hopefully that'll work out. We'll get to do that like we did for some of these other lists, and get your takes and see how they compare it to ours. That'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully that works out. And we'll try to come back in a couple, 3 weeks for that, if that ends up panning out. And otherwise, I'm not ready to announce anything yet, but we'll do another list like this in the not-too-distant future. We're still kicking around a couple different ideas with it.
Yeah, exactly. We got some good stuff cooking, though.
It's going to be a fun year.
It's going to be carnage.
Our next movie for the commentary project is from my list. We did a wheel spin of our least favorite movies that we had done already, and Power Rangers 2017 came up, so I have to do yet another commentary on that. I've said everything I possibly could have to say about that, but we'll get Austin's take on it, and I'll repeat some things, and hopefully not too much, and hopefully I'll have some new thoughts, and maybe I'll like it slightly better than last time, but I kind of doubt it. I've been less happy with that every time I've seen it.
We got to bring our... Actually, I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
Okay. Oh God.
I'll mention it to you after off camera, but if I do decide to do this, it might be funnier to just drop it on people.
Oh, all right. I wonder what that's going to be. I'm nervous now. I'm scared. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I was Captain Logan, and this is Austin the Day Ghost.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, folks.